First, we will talk about Visual Lock feature. Visual Lock feature usually used in OLT and ONU, and ONU can only working and register in specific OLT. Also, OLT only allows specific ONU to register. And if a lock ONU register in another OLT, that ONU will keep rebooting, so it can't register in another OLT. If another ONU register in lock OLT, that ONU will not register and OLT will promote illegal ONU as you can see in this picture. When this ONU try to register in lock OLT, it can register and OLT will promote illegal register. To achieve visual lock feature, ONU need to upgrade a special firmware to become lock ONU. And OLT need to enable its lock feature. You need to enable its lock feature via license. And we will talk OLT in the next part. And a neutral firmware ONU can directly upgrade special firmware to become lock ONU. And of course, lock ONU have a protection that prevent ONU upgrade to other version. As you can see in this picture, it's not possible to upgrade other firmware to lock ONU that have a protection. And also, lock ONU can upgrade an unlocked firmware to become a neutral ONU again. Next, we will talk about visual license feature. Visual license feature used in visual OLT and usually is used to limited OLT running time, limited ONU number, and enable or disable OLT lock feature. And lock feature usually used with lock ONU. Visual OLT allow use license to control free paths, enable or disable lock feature, limited ONU quantity, and limited OLT running time. Lock feature means only allow specific ONU register. Use with lock ONU. Limited ONU quantity means limited the number that limited the register ONU number. If the number exceeds the limit, the OLT will not allow the newly connected ONU register. And this ONU number include the offline ONU. Limited OLT running time. If the time exceeds, OLT port will down. No ONU can register. And is able to check OLT license in OLT web. And you can see in now the license limited. 64 ONU mean this OLT only allow 64 ONU to register, and license time 41 day mean after 41 day OLT all pump will down and no ONU can register in this OLT. And is also able to check in OLT click. In OLT click you can see use this command solar system license. Now ONU and time no limited and only enable lock feature. Next, I will explain how to use visual OLT license feature. This is a document about OLT key file. If you want to use visual OLT license feature after apply to Visual Engineer, we will give you such a document. Document created based on OLT MAC address. And in this document, let's see what are those key presence. Let's see the first slide. Yellow lock, yellow ONU, and yellow date. Yellow lock. Lock mean lock feature. ONU mean limited ONU quantity, and they mean limited OLT ONU, and they mean limited OLT running time. Yellow mean disable the function, and one mean enable. For example, let's see the first and second line. The first line has 3 yellows, so all the limited is disabled, mean no limited in ONU number, no limited in OLT running time, and every ONU can register on the OLT. The second line, log and ONU is yellow, and so it mean limited OLT ONU, and they mean limited OLT running time. Yellow mean disable the function, and one mean enable. For example, let's see the first and second line. The first line has 3 yellows, so all the limited is disabled, mean no limited in ONU number, no limited in OLT running time, and every ONU can register on the OLT. The second line, log and ONU is yellow, and so it means log feature and ONU number. So mean log feature is disabled and ONU number no limited. There is one mean enable limited OLT running time. So this string key mean only limited OLT running time. Critic key used to modify ONU number and OLT running time. Later we will explain it via example. And offer key is used for control OLT license feature. So the first slide, offer key means this string. So the first line offer key means no limited, and the second string means only limited OLT running time. And U-boot key. This is a key for verification. And if you put key wrong, then not able to modify OLT license. And it means if you want to modify OLT offer key, you need to input the correct U-boot key. Usually input U-boot key after off key and after the OLT time, OLT quantity number, and we'll explain it in the example. Next, I will take 2 examples. One is limited ONU number and OLT running time. The other one is enable OLT lock feature, no limited in OLT number and no limited in OLT running time. Let's see the first example. Because in this example, we only limited ONU number and OLT running time. So lock is yellow, ONU and day is 1. So we use yellow lock 1 ONU 1 day string. Below is the procedure. First, we need to change OLT offer key with this command. Offer key we use this string, and U-boot key we will find it in the key file. And And this is OLT MAC address, AUX port MAC address. We use this MAC address to create a key file corresponding to this MAC address. Mm, second, we need to set ONU number and OLT running time with this command set license key and then input create key and the time limited and ONU number limited. The unit of time is seconds, so this command OLT running time sets in 31 days, and after input this command need to reboot OLT to make it take effect. After OLT reboot, in OLT web you can see license limited in 40 says in 64 and license time is in 31 days. The second example is to enable OLT lock feature, disable limited ONU number and OLT running time. So the offer key string we use one lock, yellow ONU and yellow date. Below is the procedure. And same as the first example, first we need to change OLT offer key and we put OLT to make it take effect. After OLT put up, then we need to input lock key with this command. With this command, set class and key cookie. And this how to get this lock keys. After you request the lock feature to Visual Engineer, we will give you the lock key, and lock key is the only one that the customer can use. And every customer use different lock key. And please note that usually OLT lock feature used with lock ONU. After set the lock key with this command, and as you can see, it used U-boot key in the end of the string, and U-boot key is used for verification. So if the U-boot key is wrong, then it's not able to change OLT license. And step 3, we put OLT and make it take effect. And after OLT we put in the lock status is showing enable. And because we not limited ONU time and ONU, and because we didn't limited OLT running time and ONU quantity, so this two line is unlimited and permanent. Next, we will talk about Visual Private Protocol Manage. Visual Private Protocol means modify ONU parameters line 1, ship, SIP ship, Wi-Fi, DHCP server, these parameters via OLT. And no need to log in ONU web to modify it. And this only work with Visual OLT and Visual ONU. And in this menu and ship management menu, is able to modify ONU ship server parameter. Usually we only need to configure process server and register server. Ship default port is 5060 and 5060, and usually no need to change it. We usually need to configure process server and register server. And this is the picture of the OLT configuration corresponding to ONU configuration. Process server, and here process address, and register service name, main register, and primary SIP register address. and the register port no need to change it. And the next is port management menu. And the next is port management menu. In this menu is able to modify ONU SIMP account including SIMP user account, SIMP username, and SIMP password. And in post information menu, is able to see ONU SIMP register status. And here port status if it's so inactive means disabled, and registering means try to register in SIP server. And if port status so idle, and it means already registered in SIP server. This is the diagram of the OLT configuration corresponding to the ONU configuration. Here user account, user number, and username, and the password, register password. Next, we will talk about Wan Management. And in this menu, is able to create or delete ONU1 connection via OLT. One connect table. This table showing current ONU1 configuration. Empty means no one created in current ONU. And one connect running configure is showing ONU1 configuration saved by OLT. When ONU come online, OLT will send this configuration to ONU, or is able to manually click submit to make OLT send configuration to ONU. And when creating one connection, is able to choose bridge 1 or router 1. If create bridge 1, is able to choose VLAN mode, untagged or tagged. Untagged means no VLAN. If create router 1, then need to choose router mode. DHCP or PPE or status. Also, it need to choose one service mode, like internet, voice, multicast, and other. After choose the correct mode, then you need to input the correct parameter. Like in this example, VLAN is 3000 and use internet mode use DHCP. After input the correct parameter and by the correct port byting, and by the correct port, then need to click add. Then one will show in running configure menu. So you need to submit again to make OLT send configuration to ONU. Here, after click submit, wait for some seconds, then one connect table will show ONU1 and one connect table will show ONU1. That means the one connection is successfully created in ONU. And please notice that in EPON OLT web, they have a menu named VoIP. This menu is used for creating voice 1 for HGU through public OAM. But if the ONU is belong to Visual, we suggest create ONU voice 1 in in one menu, and here you can choose real IP. Next is DHCP Management. In this menu is able to configure ONU DHCP server parameters, include IPv4 and IPv6. And this is the diagram of the OLT configuration corresponding to the ONU configuration. LAN IP address and the subnet mask and the beginning IP address and the ending IP address, the value time, and the next is IPv6, the LAN IPv6 address and DHCP enable, and such this configuration corresponding to ONU configuration. And next, we will talk about security menu. For security reason, all Restore ONU is disabled one access. So, for convenience, with Restore OLT, it's able to modify ONU one access, LAN access, and LAN access. This menu is able to modify ONU admin and user account password, ONU firewall level, and ONU LAN and WAN access. In this place, it's able to change user and admin account password, and display is able to change ONU firewall level. And display is able to change ONU LAN or LAN and WAN access. For this menu, control means you need to enable it so you can modify ONU LAN and WAN access via OLT. If want to modify WAN access via OLT, you need to check control box. You mean you need to click it with specific protocol or telnet, FTP, ATP, ATPS. And I will explain it to you in OLT web. In this security menu. And now, if I need to change user control, and I need to change admin account user account password, I need to click here. Then I able to modify the password. Then click submit to make it take effect. And if I want to modify ONU one access, first, I need to enable control. For example, now as I can see in this menu, ONU LAN and WAN access all disabled. So if I want to enable HTTP, I need to enable control first. And then I can enable LAN access and enable WAN access. After that, I click submit to make it take effect. So now it's successfully done. And for example, if I don't click control, and I enable LAN and enable one telnet set and then click submit, as you can see, it's not taking effect. So if I want to enable LAN and one, I need to enable control first, and then I will be able to modify the LAN and WAN access. This is the diagram of the OLT configuration corresponding to the ONU configuration. LAN, telnet, and HTTP, ATPS, and PIN is enabled. So corresponding to Telnet, ATP, TPS, and ping is enabled. And one side Telnet and HTTPS is enabled. So Telnet and HTTPS is enabled. Next, we will talk about Tr069 Management. And in Visual OLT is also able to modify ONU Tr069 parameters. And this is also the diagram OLT configuration with corresponding to ONU configuration. Enable, and this is the SS URL and server URL and username password, and candidate request username and the interview. Also, for those models that have CATV, it's able to disable or enable ONU CATV from OLT. You can do on OLT web or OLT command line. So below is the command line command and the web command line command, one for EPON and one for GPON. And this is how control ONU CATV in OLT web. Also, it's able to restore ONU to factory via Visual OLT, but it only can be done in command line. So below is the command. This is EPON, and this is GPON. Next, we will talk about Visual OLT auto buy profile. Usually, auto buy used for beacon, June port, service port, automatically created in ONU when ONU is registered in OLT. Also, for Visual ONU, the parameters that support private protocol configured can also be modified in bench through profile. Below, I will explain GPON and EPON, but I will talk GPON first. In GPON OLT, there have two ways to auto buy profiles based on PON and based on ONU model. First, we will say profile based on PON. First, if we want to buy the profile based on PON, we need to create a live profile first. Add a profile and click detail modify to edit parameters. Configure TCON, and TCON need to buy a DBA profile for upstream traffic. And second, need to configure June port, set the parameters that mark in the red box, and keep others being default. June port needs to buy traffic profile for upstream and downstream traffic. Third, need to configure service. Choose the correct June port ID and VLAN mode. If configure VLAN in ONU, the VLAN mode here should be tagged and fit correct VLAN ID. And if don't configure VLAN in ONU, mean ONU1 don't have VLAN. The VLAN mode here should be untagged in here. VLAN mode we should choose untagged if ONU don't have VLAN. 4. We need to configure service port. Choose proper service, mapping mode, and June port, and fit the VLAN. See VLAN here in the service mode. See VLAN range, transparent, and untagged mode are the most commonly used for service. In service mode, we can choose CVLAN and CVLAN range, transparent, and untagged. This is those three are the most commonly used for service. When choose VLAN, when choose CVLAN, there at least two VLAN ID need to be set. User VLAN and translate VLAN here. User VLAN and translate VLAN. User VLAN and translate VLAN are the same, indicated single VLAN is used. And if they are not the same, then VLAN translation is used. If translate as VLAN is set, here, if translate as VLAN is set, indicated Q in Q is used. And if didn't configure VLAN in ONU, service mode should be untagged here. If in ONU don't have VLAN, so in service mode we should choose untag. But you also need to set translate VLAN, which is only used in the OLT. Means after untagged packet come to OLT, OLT will give it the translate VLAN ID in it in the packet. After a source port is being created, so line profile is done. After line profile, we need to create service profile. Same line profile. We need to add a profile in service profile menu. In service profile menu and click detail modify to edit parameters. In port VLAN, we need to configure it. And for SGU, we need to configure VIP1 transparent mode. And for SFU, you need to configure VLAN mode for ETH port according to actual application scenario. After line profile and service profile, after creating line profile and service profile, we need to bind the profile to POM port. First, go into menu OLT configuration and ONU auto run menu and select the line profile, service profile, or other profile based on POM port and click the submit button to finish binding profile. Submit the apply button to finish the binding profile. For example, configuration as shown below. The contents of the previously configured line profile and service profile will be automatically added to the ONU once ONU register in OLT. In profile configuration, there's a profile. This profile is used for bench modify Visual ONU parameters that support by Visual OLT private protocol. For example, parameters like SIM register servers Tr069 register parameters. One connection is able to bench modify via profile. Later, we will give an example about how to bench modify ONU private parameters via profile. Now we say bind profile based on ONU model. First, also need to create line profile and service profile previous chapter. Second, we need to go into menu OLT configuration, OLT auto run, and OLT auto bind menu. First, we need to input the equipment ID and choose the correct line profile, service profile, and then click add button. And about the equipment ID is able to find in ONU detail info menu. And for example, this configuration is mean when once the ONU that equipment ID is MONU H223 registered in OLT. OLT will automatically add line to add this profile and add this line profile and this service profile configuration to ONU. And also, profile based on ONU model have a higher priority than based on POM. Means in auto-run menu, I did this configuration. In auto-run menu, in auto-run menu, I did this configuration. And for ONU model, MONU H223, I also have a profile binding in AutoBind. So when MONU H223 this ONU register in OLT POM, it will buy the auto buy profile to MONU H223 because buy profile based on model have a higher priority than based on POM. And now let's take an example. In example SFU, I use 1G EXPON and HGU I use this model. SFU I use this model and HGU I use this model. First, we need to create profile, and how to add profile I already explained before. So for HGU, I create line profile and service profile name line HGU and service HGU. For SFU, I create line profile and service profile name line SFU and service SFU. The only difference between HGU and SFU profile is in service profile. Port relay menu. Usually SFU use ETH tag and HGU use VIP transparent mode. And second, for HGU we create a prior profile configuring SIP parameters one connection. After HGU register in OLT, OLT will auto create one in ONU and modify ONU SIP register parameters. We need to add a profile in PRI profile menu and click detail modify to edit parameters. Select one IPv4 v6 and create one. First, configure Internet 1. Set the parameters that being marked Connect mode, VLAN mode, and service mode. Service mode we choose Internet, and Connect mode we choose DHCP as an example. And first we create bridge 1. Service mode we choose other. And second one we configure VoIP1 and set the parameters that marked in the picture. And service mode we choose VoIP and Connect mode we choose DHCP and keep the others default. Here we use DHCP as an example. First, we need to create bridge 1 for IPTV. And service mode we choose other and select the ONU LAN port that pass IPTV. 4. We need to configure ONU SIP parameters in SIP and SIM menu. There may be several servers in a bit service provider, but we usually only need to configure process servers and register server. Keep others being default or follow the ISP request. And if there is only one server, configure process servers and register server, the same address. Besides, they also need to set IP account, password, and number. Consider usually different ONU have different SIP account, usually have different SIM account. So in here, I won't use profile to modify ONU SIM account and password and number. After profile configuration done, then need to buy the profile. What I want to show here is buy profile to 1GS PON ONU based on PON port, and buy profile to HGU based on ONU model. So buy profile based on PON. So by profile based on PON port, we need to do configuration in auto. Then need to buy the profile. What I want to show here is buy profile to 1GS PON ONU based on PON port, and buy profile to HGU based on ONU model. So buy profile based on PON. So by profile based on PON port, we need to do configuration in AutoRun menu. In AutoRun menu, PON1 line profile and service profile, we choose SFU profile. And by ONU profile based on model, we need to do configuration in auto buy menu. Go to auto buy menu and input correct equipment ID and choose HGU profile. Then click add. After all settled down, we need to connect to ONU and check if auto buy profile can be done. So I connect to model 1GS PON and an HGU. This HGU equipment ID is same as we did configuration before. After ONU register in OLT, in buy profile menu, in buy profile menu, it's able to see two ONU have different profile. So just as what we configured before, HGU have HGU profile and SFU has SFU profile. In HGU1 configuration table, here in HGU1 configuration table, we can see when you have created one connection, just as we did it in prior profile, and SIM parameters also configured. Here in SIM parameter also configured, same as we did in prior profile. In GPON, we had finished the introduction about auto buy profile. Now we will talk about how to configure auto buy profile in EPON OLT. For EPON, only can auto buy the profile based on PON, so it's not able to based on ONU model. First, we need to create a service profile. In profile configuration, service profile, and here add commit menu. We fit in profile ID and click add. And following, I will take 1G, 1FE, Wi-Fi, and 1 port as an example. Use profile to configure ONU Internet 1, Voice 1, IPTV Bridge 1, and SIM server config. After adding a service profile, we need to add one connection in service profile. So first, we need to go to one IPv4, IPv6 menu. In profile ID, we choose the one we just created before. And one connect mode, we choose root and click add. And then we need to modify one parameter. And one mode we choose internet, and here connect mode I take DHCP as an example. And after configuration done, we click submit. And the second, we need to add a void VoIP1 in service profile. And the first, we need to create a router one and click add, and then modify one parameter. One service mode we choose VoIP, and here I also take DHCP as an example. And after the VLAN mode and fit in those parameters. After configuration done, and then we click submit. Following is a bridge one for IPTV, and also we need to create a one. So we need to create a bridge one and click add and modify one parameter. One service mode we choose other and fit in the correct VLAN. So after the configuration done, we click submit. After create free one, in one connect table menu is able to see the free one and two root one for internet, one for VoIP, and one bridge one for others is IPTV. After one configuration done, we need to set SIM parameters in VoIP profile. In profile configuration VoIP profile, we need to add a profile first. We need to input the profile ID and click add. And this menu is used for configure ONU SIM parameter like SIM register server and SIM process server. So go to SIM menu. In profile ID, we choose the one we just created before. And to active SIM parameter in here, active SIM parameter, and then configure manage port and process IP, register IP, and outbound IP and the port. Sure, VoIP service usually use port 5060. After configuration done, we click submit button. In OLT port and interface EPON 2. And need to log in OLT port, then input command to buy profile ONU auto buy profile service ID, the service ID we just create before. After input the command, then we need to connect an ONU to check. Before connect to OLT, we could check the left side. Before connect to OLT, ONU1 is empty, and ONU SIM parameters is also empty. And after connect to OLT, the one is being created, and just as we did in the service profile. And the SIM parameter also being configured, and the SIM register is the same as we did in the profile. And in OLT web by profile menu, we could see the new ONU we connected is auto by the service profile and the voice and VoIP profile, and the ID is the one we create before. So this is today's lesson. After this lesson, I hope you know more about Visual OLT product. And I hope you know more about Visual product. And if you still have any question, you could ask me, and I will try to answer your question. Thank you. Thank you for listening.